It's what, April 5th? I lost track
Yes.
of the date. Okay.
Yes, April 5th.
April.
It's Palm Sunday.
Oh, what do you know? So if we were actually out in the road, we would see people with those little crosses that they make out of the palms.
Sure.
You never saw that?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm sure there probably are still people standing out in the street doing that. I don't know. I don't want
Oh,
to know.
you're right. The holy rollers, the ones that are... Okay, we won't get into that. Never mind. I don't want to... So what's been going on this week? What can you tell me?
Well, we've got two. I just finished reading the Larry David article
Oh, right. From New York
that you
Times.
sent me, the New York Times article, and I think there's just such important things in there. Really, I think you and I really relate to. Um, Being angry about stupidity and society and things and complaining about it, but at his core he really doesn't like arguing with people, and when
Right.
people are in a disagreement it upsets him, and I really related to that because I can
Mm-hmm.
get angry about things. I'm such an honest person. It upsets some people sometimes, but it's really better to just be honest. Let's talk it out. Let's have a
Yeah.
debate and get through our disagreements.
Yeah.
And I just was like, yeah, that's like why maybe I'm just I really made a lot of sense. I think you and I are a lot like that.
I got a kick out of it. It was the first coronavirus related reading material that I enjoyed reading.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
it made me really laugh, and
Yeah.
also he just his distaste for the celebrity culture, and
Yes,
you
yes,
know,
yes.
just yeah, we're
Did
all people here.
did you
Did you
read
hear about J Lo and A Rod shutting down
the
or
gym?
asking a shut down gym in
Yes.
Miami to open for them exclusively?
Yes, I did read that and then I threw up and then
Motherfuckers, right? They
I
probably already have their home gym, right?
which
Assholes.
I'm so glad that I know. I couldn't wrap my head around that either. I'm like, do you really need that, or is this a publicity stunt, or why would you go outside when you know, like you said, I'm sure they have all the equipment they need in their giant homes.
Assholes.
Yeah. So, back to the Larry David thing, because what you just
Yeah.
said is exactly about him and with the celebrity culture. I don't know if you remember because it was a long article, but one section he says something to the effect of, um, "This is not the time to be talking about our lifestyles." Like,
Right.
like this is the time to just be doing the thing that's common sense. It doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense to be talking about your lifestyle, and kind of in a way he was like recognizing, yeah, I have money, I have resources, I have things, but it's not the issue now. Just stay in and stop talking about what you're doing and what you have, and
Let's switch topics to lifestyle, and a lifestyle that has, I guess, been somewhat in the shadows and no one really fucking knew about was big cat community, and how that exists in this country, and it's completely legal, and there's more exotic, about to be extinct tigers living in Texas than there are in Africa.
yeah. Well, if you remember last week when
Anyway, yeah, Tiger King. Let's
Tiger
talk about
King,
it.
last week you and I ended our conversation with you telling me you have to watch it, and I said, I know that's all I've heard about, but I kind of don't want to now because it's all everyone's talking about, and I just get the impression this is going to be a real mullet madness festival, which it was. However, I am very glad that I watched it because I needed that laugh.
Like what I told you, at one point I was really so disturbed. Like I was
Yeah.
almost like I can't watch this. But then the next second I'm fucking laughing my ass off
Oh
and
yeah.
just how absurd it was.
It's scary because this, I mean, I don't know how much of it is played up for the camera, but it's
Right.
definitely a feud that is existing, and these people exist clearly, and their lifestyle exists. I was I was like embarrassed to be American for part of the time watching it, but I was
Hmm.
laughing, you know. I just thought, who could spend their whole life, dedicate their whole life to a feud against somebody who's doing the same thing they are, which is, I mean, I don't know, what's the word? Immoral, against anything that we should be doing in nature. It's just,
But is legal in the United States, so they have their rights, and that then it just gets into all that bullshit. You
which
know,
I didn't understand because part of it in the beginning said that it was illegal, then it said it was regulated, then it said it wasn't legal, and I mean, I don't know if it's because they call it, like my brother was saying, maybe it's like the jargon they're using. They've legally called it a sanctuary, and that's the reason they get away with it because they've somehow registered it as some kind of zoo. I don't know how, what do I know about registering a zoo? I don't know.
I there were some regulations that were, I don't know the specifics, but there were some regulations that were alleviated during the Trump administration.
Uh huh.
And so there have been loosening of these laws, whatever they mean.
Mm hmm.
How many you can have, if the breeding of them. I mean, it's insane. I don't understand why. Yeah. Well, yes. Interruption. Um. So yeah, it was a good distraction. You're right.
It wasn't. I binge watched that thing. I mean, I was like,
You had to, right?
I was all over it. And now I read today, oh, there's another episode that's coming out. I'm like, yeah, that's a that's a load of shit.
It
But
did. Yeah, I guess there was a lot left on the cutting room floor.
yeah, my,
And didn't it seem like it was like, okay, this is what this is about, and then like some other, I mean, the murder and the other guy, I mean, it was just, it kept going and going.
yeah, and they kept.
Another, if you want to watch another kooky one, it's on Netflix as
Mm-hmm.
well. It was called Abducted in Plain Sight.
Hmm. And what's that about? Like a kidnapping ring or something? Or
It's a true story, and it takes place in the 70s, and it's just it's very similar to, like, okay, the first half hour you're like, oh, I see where this is going. This family friend it's a
mm.
crazy story. And supposedly it's all true. But it reminded me of that, just like, oh my gosh, how much longer is this story going to keep going?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
so that's another one if you want to get into it. It's like vintage too, because it's all like in the
Is
70s.
that like a
There's all
link?
these old footage.
Is it just like a couple of episodes like the other one? Is it like a docu series style or
It
what
was
is
a
it?
documentary series. I don't know if it was like in a full length movie kind of
Oh,
thing, or
okay.
if it was chopped up. But yeah, it was a couple hours of your time.
I like the one about. I don't know if you saw it. I think I told you about it last year, maybe, or the year. I don't even know. It could be 2 years now at this point. The one about the triplets in New York.
I didn't watch that one. What was? Yeah, I didn't watch that one,
That
but I heard
was.
that was weird. What was the name of it?
I can't remember now. I can't remember, but that was really good. I think you would like it. It's disturbing, but that's what we like. So.
Well, so I've been noticing that you guys are not alone in turning your living room into a fort. I've seen so many pictures of friends with kids, and their living rooms have turned into forts. It's trending.
uh, well, we have like fort hour. There's like a time of the day where they do the fort, but then it comes down.
And then they
I
got
don't.
to put it away.
I don't keep that up. People keep it up all day.
I don't know
No.
what people are doing.
I'll tell you what people are.
uh,
I'll tell you what people are doing here that I've been meaning to tell you about. This is
oh,
a
yes, I want to hear about the applause
this
and
is a
how you
real
said it changed.
this is a real doozy. So
Okay.
let's step back here. I'm gonna say that this is week 3 of this applause, which I actually like it, and I continue doing it because I like the message behind it. So basically, every day at 8 p.m. And don't forget, it's pretty light out here at 8 p.m. So everybody opens their window and they start clapping. And it's supposed to be for, not because we're trapped, it's supposed to be for the nurses, doctors, all the staff that's working around the clock and helping people, and that's our way.
It seemed to start. I don't mean to interrupt. It seemed to start here in New York City a couple days ago, and we went out at 7 o'clock yesterday. And even out here in Bay Ridge, I didn't think we'd hear it, but I did hear people clapping and banging pots and pans.
Yeah, I've heard like not the banging of pots and pans, but like these horns that kids blow that just noisemaker type things. So anyway, it lasts for like a minute, and it's always kind of awkward because I open the window, I start clapping, and then it becomes kind of like, okay, when do I stop? So the first week, Eduardo's like, that's disrespectful, because I'm like the first one. I'm like, okay, I've had enough. It's been like 30 seconds, and I shut the window, and I'm like, well, that's fine. I gave my thanks. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Hang out the window? I'm on the 6th floor for like 5 minutes of clapping.
So what is it turning into, like a competition of who claps the longest?
No, so I would say last week this started. I've been kind of like, I go a little longer now. All right, I'm like, all right, I'll let it go for a minute. I think a minute is good. It's long, a minute. So the minute finishes, I close the window, and then I'm hearing like really bad squeaky music. Terrible. And then there's a pause, and then clapping again. So I'm like, what is this? So the next night, I hang around a little longer, and now it's become where some kid in this apartment complex, I can't see where it's coming from, shitty clarinet player. I guess his parents must be like, okay, this is your time, here's your platform, like, why don't you play the whole community a song? So now we have to be subjected to your shit squeaky reed instrument, and then we're supposed to clap. I'm like, the whole thing's changed. It's become now a concert.
Now it's about you.
Yeah, now it's about you and your crap, and I have to listen to your kid playing the clarinet. Stay inside. I mean, am I wrong to be annoyed? Am I wrong to be? And I'm looking around like everyone's like, yay!
Yeah, until he gets competition and the other kid down the hall starts playing the drums at the same time.
I mean, when did this become like, an hour to play hot cross buns, It's like the clapping for the medical workers stops, and then you have to
Well,
hear...
you don't mean you're not going to have Violetta play the piano out the window at 8:05?
And subject everyone to it?
I heard some complaints about neighbors and their karaoke. People are at home and they're doing karaoke or like rock band or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's driving everybody, their neighbors nuts or whatever. I'm sure that's well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The complaints are funny.
I'm not opposed to it because I've been doing not every day, but once in a while with the kids, I do Just Dance. It's actually...
you gotta
It's fun, actually. But
singing along to a song will help.
But the clarinet thing has got to stop. I'm like, this is...
Yeah, that's not an enjoyable instrument alone,
I can't stand... I mean, that's... You know how people don't like the sound of chalk scratch, like on the board when you scratch the nails? For me, I could take that all day long, but any kind of like... Maybe it's because I've played the saxophone for so many years, but... That squeaky reed instrument when you're just blowing into it, it's like...
Awful.
I want to find out where this is coming from because I'm going to start shooting tomatoes out
You'd
the
be like,
window.
I'm going to remember you, kid.
Yeah, when all this is over, I'm coming for you.
Oh, gosh. All right, what else? Oh, we watched Knives Out. It was
I heard
murder
about
mystery.
That. Yeah.
Did you see that one?
No, it didn't really catch me. Is it anything worth watching?
Yeah, I'd watch it. It was good. It was good enough.
The poster looked like the game Clue. That's like what it reminds me.
That's exactly what it's like.
Oh, okay.
It's like kind of like that. It was good. I kind of thought I kind of predicted what I thought was gonna happen, which I hate, but it was enjoyable. Like if I can get something to get my mind off worries,
Mm-hmm.
that's helping. Okay, I know I said it before, but now I'm really into it, and I'm telling you, My Brilliant Friend on HBO. It's Italian subtitles. It's about these two girls, and it's based on a novel that one of the women wrote later in life. So
Mm-hmm.
she's reflecting on their childhood and growing up together, these two girls. There's something about one, just listening to the Italian language is beautiful and relaxing. It takes place in the 1950s, so
Mm-hmm.
everything is slower. There's no technology. And on top of that, I think reading subtitles
Mm.
forces you to just really get into the story and pay attention. You
Yeah.
don't get distracted. I can't look at my phone because I'm really into the story.
Right. You
And
have to pay
it
attention.
is like meditative almost. I'm really enjoying the show. I'm trying to like only watch like one episode a day so I don't get through the whole thing
Yeah.
quickly.
Make it last long. What's it called?
Yes, My Brilliant Friend. And I'm telling
Mm.
you, once you get into it, I want to talk to you about it again because I think it's going to remind you of somebody that or just just friendships that we both have had in our lives.
Now you've got me intrigued. Okay.
I
Yeah.
really think you're going to love it a lot. It's really just beautifully shot, and the actresses are great, and it's really cool. I really love it.
Yeah. You.
That's my
I'm on.
that's my 2 cents.
I'm not on that. I'm not watching Ozark. I started last night.
Yep.
Um.
We
It's
watched 2 episodes last night, so we're like halfway through it.
okay. Yeah. Don't tell me. But I'm
No,
just saying. It's like too much time has gone by. I hate when they do that. You know what I mean?
I keep forgetting that he just needs to kill his wife. Like I'm like, oh my god, like I'm remembering.
I don't even remember that. You see, I'm like, I don't. They need to recap a bit better, or maybe I don't know.
Do
Eduardo's
you
like,
remember
let's.
this all started because she was having an affair?
Yes, that I remember. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I still kind of go, oh my god, he just needs to get rid of his wife, but
No. No. Yeah.
yeah, it's always good to watch the like when a new season starts and they go, oh, they do like the minute recap. I always need the reminder.
Yeah, Eduardo goes, I think we should watch the full episode before. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. That's not going to help anyway.
No, the recap that they usually do because they
Mm.
show the highlighted important
Yeah, right.
things to remember.
Speaking of
Uh,
brilliant
yeah.
friends, and I say that with utter
Oh
sarcasm.
yeah, we don't have to say names.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something because, well, I shouldn't even get into this again because we sound like broken records. But someone letting me know that they're flying home next week. Home meaning their parents' house because they don't want to stay in their own place because they feel isolated.
In New York.
Yeah, which, by the way, everyone feels isolated, okay? I just want to say this and we'll move on, okay? Going to JFK or LaGuardia or wherever the hell you're going, basically an airport in the city of the world where things are spreading very quickly, where 30% of people, by the way, are carrying this asymptomatically. Okay, you're going to get in the airport, get on a plane with the delicious recycled air, okay, and then take that illness to another state, to your elderly parents. I hope you feel good about yourself doing that. Hope you feel good.
Amen.
I can't even, I can't wrap my head around it, and it really shows selfishness and it shows your ignorance.
I try to take it when it comes to these situations, and I've had a few stupid moments that I've witnessed from people who I think should be smarter than they are.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I just kind of pull back and say, how many other people are acting the same way, because the airports are still open.
Yeah.
So she has every right to get on a plane and go home. Go ahead.
But you
And
could use your brain.
if you think you're coming back to New York City in June and everything is just going to be the same, you know.
Yeah, what are you going to flip a switch and it's all going to go back to normal? I mean, that to me is just ridiculous. I can't even.
Yeah. So, but I try to kind of take the personal thing on. I go, oh my God, times that person, times all the other people that are thinking the same way she does. And it makes me kind of, that's where I get, my anxiety starts rising, I think. I just go, oh, like, you know.
Yeah.
I just, being in New York, and I said this before, I'm so thankful just you kind of making me really think about this earlier than others. I got a backyard. I've got a space that I can go out and get fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand people recommending that you go on your daily walk. If everybody goes on their daily walk or run or whatever, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I get people recommending, make sure you go for your walk today.
The population alone, you'd be crowding the streets. So
I sit in my window and I see people, and I know I've got a grocery store on the end of the block.
Mm-hmm.
There's just people out. So I really don't think, I understand exercise, I understand fresh air. If we take a walk once a week, I will go, okay, we'll go take a walk.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, like, I am just, I don't know, I'm trying to be as careful as possible. I have 2 people here with me who are, not as healthy as me, and I'm just trying to do the right thing for the people that I live with.
Exactly.
And
that's
all we can do right now.
Yeah. Well, people say to me, don't worry about what others do. Just worry about yourself. Well, you know what? It indirectly does affect me because.
And this is where we go back to the Larry David. It's not because we're like curmudgeons, and it's that we really want people to be better than they are, and that's upsetting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've seen my show. There's nothing good happens outside. Stay in.
All right.
Oh God. All right, so
nothing happens.
I will say this though, I'm like really, I'm getting ripped here. I'm
oh yeah.
Well, in the past 6 weeks, I've lost 11 pounds, and
awesome.
I think a lot of people might be doing the opposite because it's easy to do that too. I think if you're just sitting around and eating, but I think I'm doing more. Apart from not walking, obviously, which is a huge deal for me because I walk a lot. I'm doing a lot of like kickboxing and things like that. And if I don't do it, I feel bad. So I've been doing that and I feel pretty good about that.
I would say that like getting my heart rate going has been all due to the anxiety attacks and panic attacks that I've been trying to keep at bay. But I have been meditating and doing yoga and trying to get Ronnie to do some yoga with me. I definitely am going to look to get my heart rate up and sweat a little. I really would love to get a punching bag in the backyard and put,
that would be nice.
Just imagine somebody's face on it.
That sounds like my kind of the New York workout right there.
Yeah, I could punch something. We have practice pads, so I could get Ronnie to maybe spar with me. That might be something to do in the backyard.
Did you see the video I sent you this morning? I think I did send it to you about the mock ping pong table we.
It was awesome.
Yeah, that lasted about 30 seconds, by the way. So
sure, that makes sense.
Before
the kids are doing good, and I really think that was a good point. I do know some kids who are an only child.
Yeah.
And that's probably worse than not having a sibling.
Yeah.
To play.
I think so.
What else?
Yeah, so what's on the plans in the cards for this week?
Well,
What can we do? What's our homework for the week? What are we doing?
Well, I have some business decisions to make this week with
Right.
in regards to ownership of a business and
Yeah.
things that either may or may not be a wise decision. So, um, what else? We're hopefully going to move forward with producing this book. Um, it's the things that are up in the air is that the business is maybe not incorporated yet, so I wouldn't be able to apply for any small business loans.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we've been operating for 3 years, I have not seen the paperwork. So that's some other things I need to figure out.
Okay.
But I'm like waiting for tomorrow. I feel like I'm treating today like a holiday. I've been coloring. A lot of artists have taken to the, I think it's that iPad Pro, where they'll take one of their pieces of art and trace it out and make a coloring book page. And so a lot of people have been like having these downloads, so you can print out a black and white and color. Different artists have been, donating to
Yeah.
these things. So the team has been coloring this weekend. We're going to put together a little story about all the different artists who are sharing their work for the kids to print out. I mean, some of them are a little, maybe not for kids, but
Too intricate. Well,
and
content,
so everybody was asking me about, oh, did you do any coloring? I said, I'm trying to save it for the weekend, like as if you can't color during the week
I was
because I'm
gonna
an
say,
adult.
what does a weekend even mean anymore?
Exactly.
It's all blending.
I'm gonna save that for the weekend. I'll color on the weekend. Like
Yeah.
whatever. My life feels like I'm a child right now anyway.
Well, this week I'm technically off of work, so I'm not doing anything.
What does that mean?
Well, this is Easter break for us, so
Oh,
it means I don't have
okay.
to do my work. I don't have to give my classes. I don't have to grade anything. We already got an email the other day instructing us that, because our last day of class is April 30th, and then we start exams, so we're going to be giving exams online and all that. So a couple of recommendations on how to do that, but I'm not touching a thing in the next week. Technically,
Good.
I don't have to go back till the 14th online.
I have really noticed, I mean, both me and Ronnie have lost our jobs for the near future and applied for unemployment, and we're, looking at alternatives. I will say the people I've talked to that are still working from home, they're just as still a structure, and I think that's really helping them. So it's everybody that's still able to work from home. That's great.
Yeah. It's obviously an adjustment, but yeah, I'm grateful that I could still do that. So
Right.
yeah,
Alright.
that's it. I mean, I'll try to give you some. You know what I'll try to do? Actually, I'm gonna try to record this clarinet player. That's what I'm gonna do.
That would be great. I would love that. Did you get to watch 12 Monkeys?
Oh no, I didn't. Shit, I'm
All
gonna
right,
get on
put
that.
that on the to-do. 12 Monkeys is really gonna resonate right now.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that because I started watching. I told you I watched The Outsider, which kind of had some similarities to what's going on, also. But
That's on our list. We got to get into that one too.
I wound up not liking it that much in the end. It started out good for me, and then it went too Stephen King-ish.
Oh, really? Well, I'm gonna try to stay in the bedroom because there's a Sharknado marathon on, and Ronnie is just really enjoying rewatching Sharknado. So I'm gonna leave him to that, and I'm gonna stay in here maybe.
I commend you for, because you need to give people their space during this time. You need to have.
It's important. I think we as a team are doing very well. I know when to leave him alone, and
Yeah. Well,
he knows how to handle my anxiety and my panic attacks. So we're a good team.
Good. All right. Well, we'll be in touch this week.
All right.
And
I love you. Good.
love you
End
too.
of week 3 for me, week 4 for you.
Yep. Yep.
All right. All right. See you next
The
week.
saga continues. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.